Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss gradient of scalar field and its physical significance. The definition of gradient of any scalar field is defined like this. Gradient of scalar function f is denoted as del f. We simply call it as del f, where del is a vector differential operator. Whenever you are operating this L on whether it is a scalar function or a vector function, we will get its derivation or a differential. So del is just an operator. We can operate it on even on scalar function. If we are operating this del on a scalar function, we will get its gradient. So here we are operating del on this f. We are operating del on this f. Here f is a scalar function. Then del f equal to dou f by dou x into I bar plus dou f by dou y into z bar plus dou f by dou z into k bar. Here, as it is difficult to write or put the caps over the heads on I, j, k, even in textbooks and PPTs, we generally take these bold letters to denote I, j, k are the vectors. But in your examinations, it is difficult to write I, j, k in bold letters. So, please don't forget to put caps on the heads of these vectors. So, it is very, very important and essential for a first year students. Okay, so the next thing is the gradient of f is defined as the unique vector field whose dot product with any vector v bar at each point x is the directional derivative of f along v. What does it mean? Let me explain in this way. Say for example, if you have a vector v whose direction is like in this way, then del f is again is a vector. If the dot product of this v and del, the dot product of d and del will give you the directional derivative of this f along this vector v bar. If you take the dot product of del f, same del f, along a bar, say for example a is another vector whose direction is this. If you take dot product between del f and this a bar, then f directional derivative along this a bar you will get. Okay, so I need not specially mention that this net is the quantitative value of del f, how it is derivating, and here the arrows, these arrows are there, no? These arrows are giving you the direction of del f. So in all the direction, this is quantity of del f. Okay, so that's it. Okay, let us move on. So this is gradient. What does it mean? In this direction, in this a bar, this is the vector a bar, and this is the red line denote you grade f. F is on scalar function. So this f is changing in this direction. So different values, different colors. So f is a function. This f function is changing. How it is changing is given by del f. Okay, got the point? Del f. F is a scalar function, no doubt, of course, but del f give you in which direction it is changing, how much it is changing. In the next slides you will get to understand more properly. Okay, the gradient vector can be interpreted as the direction and rate of fastest increase. What does it mean? In which direction it is changing, the scalar function f bar, or the scalar quantity, for that matter scalar quantity f bar, any scalar quantity, how, in which direction it is changing, and how fast it is increasing, or changing. Not just for the fast, even for decrease also, of course the sign will vary. If the gradient of a function is non-zero at a point P, what does it mean? The direction of gradient in the direction in which the function increases most quickly from, say for example, f is a scalar function, f is a scalar function. At a particular point, its gradient is not equal to 0. What does it mean? At this point, it is changing in a particular direction that is given by del f. Okay, that is the meaning of this sentence. Got the point? Okay. Then the magnitude, how much it is changing, whether it is quickly changing or slowly changing. Of course, in the next slides, I will explain with the physics examples. Don't worry. Okay, the gradient is the 0. If the gradient, that means, what does it mean? If del f is 0, if del f equal to 0 at a particular point, say for example point P, when it is 0, it is 0 only if and only if it is a stationary point. That means there is no change at all. Stationary point, at a stationary point. This is the most important bit for your competitive exams. Please don't forget that. If del f is equal to 0, when it is 0, the answer is, the point is stationary point. If and only if, there is no other condition. If and only if. Okay. So that is the most important point, my dear friends. You should not forget it. Okay, please note down, this is important. Okay, next we are going. Okay, as I told you, I will explain with the live example in physics. Say for example, we in our first class we studied that in the scalars and scalar fields, temperature is a scalar quantity. That means temperature don't have direction, but please remember that temperature don't have direction, but in a particular direction temperature may increase. Got the point? In a particular direction temperature may increase. How it is? Say for example, let me explain you in this example. Say this is it is water filled container. This is water filled container. In this water filled container, I am giving the flame. So flame I am giving. So what is happening? Temperature initially here, the temperature is more over here. So temperature is light over here. Temperature, as it keep on increasing, the temperature will increase. I'm sorry, blue color generally we denote it for right. Okay, so the temperature is very high. So when it is going, so that's it. Okay, so temperature, consider room temperature is given by a scalar field. It is scalar field. Each point x, the temperature is independent of the time initially. At each point the room temperature, the gradient of T at that point will show the direction in which the temperature rises most quickly. The magnitude of the gradient will determine how fast the temperature rises in that direction. What does it mean? So if you are moving in this direction, temperature is increasing, is in this, whereas in this direction temperature is reducing. If you move downwards, because here you have the flame, right, here you have the flame, so that's it. So what del f of t, T is a temperature. Okay, so F is a scalar function or temperature function. Okay, so it is, I'm sorry, I wrongly write it. So temperature T of x, y, z. So del T of f will give you in which direction temperature is increasing or decreasing, and how fast it is. So that means in a particular direction temperature is increasing. So temperature itself is scalar, but in a particular direction it is changing. So changing temperature is have a direction, that is a vector, because it have the direction, that is the vector. Similarly, del f is a scalar, del f is a vector. Why f is changing, how it is changing, in which direction it is changing, how quickly it is changing, that is another vector. So got the point? Okay, let us move on. Consider a surface whose height above sea level at point, say for example x comma y, and height h of x comma y. Then gradient of h at a point is a plane vector pointing in the direction of the steepest slope or grade at that point. The steepness of the slope at that point is given by the magnitude of the gradient vector. So say for example, if you have a surface over here, if you have surface over here which is above sea level, let us say this is sea level. So if you find a slightly, this red color pen is there now, so slightly changing. Okay, the steepness. So above sea level point h, how it is, how the gradient, its gradient point h, if point h is there, its gradient will give you the slope. Okay, the slope will give you, that means del h. So that's it, that is the importance or use of the gradient function. Okay, let us move on. The magnitude and direction of the gradient vector are independent of the particular coordinate representation. This is important thing for those who are aiming in higher education in physics. See, this is generally not in your material or university prescribed syllabus, but I am giving you an extra dose to you people, those who are interested to study higher studies in physics. So whenever the coordinate systems, generally different types of coordinate systems are there, but in general for students, for education purpose, we are taking Cartesian coordinate system. Another two things we regularly use are cylindrical coordinate system and spherical coordinate system. Whatever coordinate system, in whatever coordinate system you are representing your f bar, your f scalar function, it won't change. It is independent. Please see that independent. The different blue color where I write it in that. Okay. So Remember that. It is independent of the coordinate representation. Gradient of a scalar quantity is a vector quantity. I already told you. A scalar, initially temperature is a scalar, but temperature gradient is a vector. When you are moving towards an ice slab, temperature gradient is decreasing. Temperature is decreasing. When you are moving towards a fire altar, temperature is increasing. How it is increasing? Based on the fire you have in the fire altar. More fire, more quickly it is increasing. So that is it. Okay, in which direction it is increasing. Okay, the magnitude of that vector quantity is equal to the maximum rate of change of that scalar quantity. Okay, next, change of scalar quantity doesn't depend only on the coordinate of the point, but also on the direction along which the change is shown. So okay, if you remember earlier class where thief and cop are running in different directions, like that, if fire altar is one place, if you are moving away, in which direction you are moving, temperature gradient will move. Okay, so the direction also most important. Okay, for the gradient of a vector field, you can think of it as the gradient of each component of that vector field individually, each of which is a scalar. The gradient always point in the direction of the maximum rate of change in a field. Okay, in which in the maximum rate of change direction only it is there. Okay, it is always pointing in that direction. Okay, so this is extra. Again, this is an extra point. I have put it over here. You just remember this diagram. You will, if you study MSc physics, you will get this diagram, and even in final year BSc in modern physics, electronic precision and all there, you will get it. So this is extra dose for first semester. However, take it as an opportunity to learn this. Scalar field may be represented by a series of level surfaces, each having a stable value of a scalar point function theta. The theta changes by a stable value as we move from one surface to another. These surfaces are known as Gaussian surfaces. These surfaces are known as Gaussian surfaces. If anyone asks you what are Gaussian surfaces, what you should say? A surface which is scalar point function is changing gradually. You can define like that. Okay, now let the two such surfaces are very close together by represented by two scalar point functions theta plus d theta, and let r and r plus d theta be the position vectors of point A. Here the point A and B, these are two. Actually in the diagram we are showing it in separated apart very greatly, but they are very close. How close they are, I will tell you the secret. This is generally to explain the precision of the atoms and precision of the electrons inside the atoms, or the precision of the atoms inside the molecules. That means 10 to the power of minus 10 centimeters scale. Okay, so such as very close. Okay, so on the surface. Okay, then correspondingly with the respect to origin vector AB on this. Okay, so let the least detachment between the two surfaces D and B in the direction of unit usual vector n at A bar. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so my dear friends, this is all for today. Thank you for your listening, and if you after this session, I will send you the questions, some mathematical questions. You please answer them, and this is that mathematical questions are the assignment for you people. By tomorrow class, you should come with your answers. The assignment will be given weightage for your internal marks. Don't forget that, because in this lesson, scalar gradient of scalar and its physical significance, mathematics, there is a chance for four marker question. Mathematics problems may come, so do solve those problems, and if you have any doubt, you are free to discuss with me on email address. Okay, thank you.